Welcome into the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. Jeffrey Cooperstein here with you guys. We have a mailbag here on today's show answering all of your questions surrounding the latest on the Los Angeles Lakers. So without further ado, let's hop right in as we have our first question of the day coming in. Excited to see what you guys have to offer here on the Lakers Report. Jeffrey Cooperstein hanging out with you guys. My guy Nick Lopez is also going to join us here later on the show as well to answer some of your questions. First one coming in from Beat Boston. I love it. Will Luka Doncic sign his extension in August? Luka is eligible for, I believe, a 4-year, $229 million contract extension from the Lakers as soon as August 2nd, as we bring in our guy, Nick Lopez, resident Lakers fan here. Nick, I don't think this is as much of a done deal as it may have originally seemed.
Oh, I 100% agree. I think the way that this offseason has been handled, it kind of feels like a punch in the gut.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't blame Luka if he does not decide to put pen to paper at the moment, and I really need the Lakers to find a way to get it done.
That would be scary, especially because Luka could opt out and become a free agent in the summer of 2026, and he could certainly go find a different team there and see what team he would want to go to most in which a winning situation. And I don't think the Lakers have really done right by Luka since they traded for him in February. There's been uncertainty surrounding the situation with LeBron James. I don't think Rob Pelinka has handled this offseason fantastically. Now, they did sign DeAndre Ayton and finally got a center in there after the big mistake was the trade for Mark Williams and the Lakers nixing that deal. They did go out there, get DeAndre Ayton, so I did like that move. But other than that, they've been extremely quiet. We can go to those Luka stats. That's no big deal. Look, I think Luka is one of the best players in the NBA. There's no question about it. There's a reason the Lakers targeted him to be the heir apparent to LeBron James, the franchise cornerstone of this Lakers team going forward. And, man, you've got to figure this out with Luka. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion by any means that he signs this extension here with the Lakers on August 2nd. And we'll have to see what happens. Again, it's 4 years and about $229 million. Will Luka do that? I'm not sure. I tend to think right now I would say, a less than a 50% chance that he'll do that or not. But we'll see what happens. And I'm not sure what the Lakers' decision is going to be. I know the Lakers are going to offer it to him. I'm not sure what Luka's decision is going to be. Let me know down in the comment section, though. Will Luka Doncic sign his extension in August? If you think he won't, type N for no. If you think he will, type Y for yes. That is our question for you down there in the comments. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. You'll find it at the top of the YouTube comment section. So go on down there. Will Luka sign that 4-year extension in August? Y for yes or N for no. Coming in from Win No Matter What. Appreciate you tuning into the Lakers Report, my guy. Says, could the Lakers actually trade LeBron? Theoretically, yes. In all reality, probably not. I don't think the Lakers really have an avenue to trade LeBron. There's a couple of reasons why. Number one, LeBron is making $52.6 million this season that he opted into, making it very difficult for him to trade. Number two, LeBron has a full no-trade clause, so he can nix any trade. He can choose his destination, and he can decide, essentially, if they do want to trade him, where he wants to go. Number three, I don't think any team wants to send out $52 million in matching salary money in order to go trade for LeBron. I think the more realistic scenario here is that LeBron just either stays with the Lakers, plays out this season, or he gets bought out and becomes a free agent. Lopez, I do think this is the last season in LA for LeBron, but I don't see a trade happening.
No, I don't see a trade happening. And I think this kind of builds into that last question that we had about Luka. If the Lakers trade LeBron, I think Luka's gone next year. I think he's not signing an extension. And then also, what are teams willing to trade for LeBron? Yeah. You're getting basically a 1-year rental. You're not going to trade the farm for that. I just don't see a avenue where he gets traded.
Yeah, I simply don't think LeBron is going to be traded whatsoever. The 90% likely scenario is that he plays out the 25-26 season with the Los Angeles Lakers and then becomes a free agent. Maybe he re-signs one last time with the Lakers, but I don't see that as of right now, man. LeBron's still an excellent player here with the Lakers. Still averaged 24, 8 assists last year as well. Shot over 37% from three. Also averaging 8 or 9 boards, and he's still playing 35 minutes a night at the age of 40. So he's still a great player, still has a lot to offer. the Lakers are in a win now scenario with Luka going into LeBron's last season in LA. Let's see what they can do this offseason, man. It'll be very interesting to see how Rob Pelinka closes out the rest of this Lakers roster and tries to get them back into contention for the Western Conference title. We'll get to your rest of your questions here in just a moment, but before we do that, go get hooked up with our friends at Fanatics today. We have this Lakers shirt on sale for $20. It was originally $34. When you go to chatsports.com/LA Strong, you can get this dope black Lakers t-shirt with LA Strong across the front. Go support the channel as well because we get a part of the proceeds when you use that link right there, chatsports.com/LA Strong, which will be in the comments and the description of today's show. Appreciate all of you for tuning in to the Lakers Report by Chat Sports, and go get yourself some Lakers gear here today. SoCal Stud 213 coming in with this one. Is there any chance the Lakers add another center? I certainly think the Lakers could add another center here. There's a couple of options after they signed DeAndre Ayton to that 2-year, $16 million contract using a part of the mid-level exception, and they certainly did upgrade there at center. The question is whether or not they want to go get a backup center, and there are a couple of options out there, most notably a guy who was on your roster last season in Jaxson Hayes. Jaxson Hayes is someone who wasn't fantastic last year for the Lakers, let's be honest, but he did do some good things in the second half of the season when the Lakers traded for Luka. I think Hayes' game did elevate, but in the playoffs, guy was unplayable. He got a DNP in one of those 5 games against Minnesota, and you see the stats on screen right there. Less than 2 points, 2 rebounds a night, minus 17 in that series against Minnesota. Just not going to get it done, man. And you did get your starting center in DeAndre Ayton, which was the hard part done. But now you have to go find someone who can give you legitimate, consistent center minutes because the Lakers just didn't have that last year. They were throwing out Alex Len in real NBA games last season. That's just not good enough if you're the Los Angeles Lakers and Rob Pelinka. You've got to go find someone who can be a lob threat alongside Luka and whoever the backup point guard might be for that squad. So if it were me, I'm trying to go get another center, whether it's Jaxson Hayes, whether it's a guy like Mo Wagner out there. I don't think Al Horford's an option for LA, but one of those guys who you can get for maybe the veteran minimum or slightly above would be who I'm looking at. Will the Lakers add another center? That is a question I want to ask you guys right now. If you think they will, type A for add. If you think they're going to stand pat, type P for pass down there in the comments. Boy, oh boy, they need to add a center because if they don't, they're going to be in a world of trouble come October when this season starts. We got one from Mamba07 coming in, says, will Dalton Knecht get traded? Lopez, I'm going to bring you on this one as well because technically Dalton Knecht already did get traded as they sent him to the Charlotte Hornets in that Mark Williams trade that eventually got nixed. I think that there's a real chance Knecht could be moved this offseason. There's a potential Andrew Wiggins trade that Knecht could be involved in. What are your thoughts on the Lakers potentially moving off Dalton Knecht after 1 year?
I could definitely see Dalton Knecht being gone, especially like you were just talking about Andrew Wiggins. We need to find someone to replace Dorian Finney-Smith. I think that was the hardest thing that's happened to us so far in this offseason. We have no defense now in the starting lineup.
Dorian Finney-Smith signed a 4-year, $52 million contract to leave the Lakers to head to the Houston Rockets. So you absolutely need another wing, and I do think Andrew Wiggins completely fits the mold that the Lakers would be looking for. They're asking for Dalton Knecht and a first-round pick, among others. I don't think the Lakers would give them Rui Hachimura. I'd give them Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt in addition to Knecht in a first. And Knecht did have a solid rookie season for the Lake Show, before getting traded. I thought he played really well, averaging 9 points and shot it well as well. I think the trade really messed with his head, and after that, he never really got back into this Lakers rotation. I expect him to play a bigger role next season in Los Angeles if he is back on this team. If not, I could see the Lakers packaging him in a trade for a guy like Wiggins or another, maybe potential wing on the market that we haven't even talked about yet. Because I do think, as of right now, that is the Lakers' biggest need alongside backup point guard and backup center. I think they need a wing that can start and come off the bench. So if I'm Rob Pelinka, that's the only thing I would be trading Dalton Knecht for. And then we got Laker for life. How much pressure is on JJ Redick next season? There's always pressure if you're the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers because they're the flagship franchise in the NBA, so all of the eyes are on LA. But I don't think there's a real scenario where JJ Redick ends up getting fired or anything like that, unless it goes just absolutely awry the Lakers end up winning 30 games next season and they miss the playoffs completely, then you get fired. But that's just not going to happen. This team is way too talented, and they're going to be in the playoffs pretty much no matter what, I think. So is there pressure on JJ Redick? Of course there is, because he's the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Is there pressure on him? Is he coaching for his job? I don't really believe that, especially if they do end up getting the Luka extension done and he signs. There's no pressure for Redick here. He's going to try to more and more implement his philosophy, his style of play, his culture onto this team. So, yes, he's coaching with pressure because he's a coach of the Lakers, but no, he is not coaching with pressure because his job is on the line or anything like that. JJ Redick, hopefully, is the coach of the Lakers for a long time, and I think that's going to be the case here because, all in all, I think Redick's a pretty damn good coach. He did get out-coached in the first round of the playoffs against Chris Finch and the Minnesota Timberwolves, but that's a learning curve. It was his first year as an NBA head coach, and all in all, I think he did a pretty good job. There are obviously things to work on, but you have something building here with Redick. So, no, I don't think he's under immense pressure this next season. That will do it for today's show, guys. Appreciate you for tuning in to the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. Hope you guys are having a great 4th of July weekend, and we'll see you guys soon here on the channel.